This week, some in Congress are renewing their efforts to pass a war powers resolution in an attempt to end military support for the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen. Our senior international correspondent, Nima El-Bagher, has been investigating what's happening to that military support, including millions of dollars in military equipment. Nima, you're just back from Yemen. Tell our viewers what you saw.
Well, we went to Yemen to follow the trail of that U.S. weaponry and the devastation it's leaving behind. Take a look at this, Wolf. Shells of millions of dollars worth of abandoned American armored vehicles litter the road. Welcome to Yemen, where weaponry made in America is sold, stolen and abandoned and making its way into the wrong hands.
MATV from Oshkosh Defense.
We're here to follow the trail of those weapons and the chaos they've left behind. Our journey starts at the Hodeidah front lines, where a ceasefire was recently signed. Climbing up a defensive berm for a better look, the Houthi position, we're told, is only around 200 to 300 meters away. There's movement there on the horizon. Did you hear that? Scotty, get down. There, another shot. That's coming from over there. They want to take us to the actual position. They want to show us the ceasefire violations. Okay, all right, Namshi, come on. So they're now firing on us. You can hear it. I can hear some more. I can hear a mortar that's incoming. It's getting heavier, and we're told we have to leave, even as we're driving away. Even now, you can hear that. It's getting much, much heavier. Yalla khalas? The influx of weaponry is prolonging the conflict. On our way back from the front line, we spot what we've come in search of. It's absolutely incredible. We're driving past and it's like a graveyard of American military hardware. And this is not under the control of coalition forces. This is in the command of militias, which is expressly forbidden by the arms sales agreement with the US. On the outside of these mine-resistant armored vehicles, MRAPs, there are even stickers proudly proclaiming them as property of Alawiyat al-Amalqa, a militia allied to the coalition. We zero in on the serial numbers, tracing them back to US manufacturer Navistar, the largest provider of armored vehicles for the US Army. We're told to stop filming. But we're able to find another vehicle. This one even has the export sticker. From Beaumont, Texas to Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. As we arrive back in town, we pass yet another militia-held MRAP. Everywhere we look, it seems, it's made in the USA. Yemen is split between warring factions, US-backed and Saudi-led in the country's south, Iranian-backed Houthi militias in the north. We can't cross the front lines to go north, but the MRAPs have. Captured by Iran's allies, the Houthis. To the backdrop of chants of death to America, this US MRAP was broadcast on a Houthi-backed channel with Mohammed Ali al-Houthi, the deputy leader, sitting behind the wheel. CNN was able to obtain the serial number from one of the Houthi-held MRAPs and verified that it was part of a $2.5 billion 2014 US sale to the UAE, a coalition partner. So why does it matter? Because these very MRAPs and others like them have already, we're told, fallen into the hands of Iranian intelligence. In an audio interview with a member of a secret Houthi unit, the Preventative Security Force, CNN was told some US military technology has already been transferred to Iran.
Iranian intelligence are assessing US military technology very closely. There isn't a single American weapon that they don't try to find out its details, what it's made of, how it works.
Advanced improvised explosive devices with Iranian components are now mass-produced by Houthi forces on a scale only previously achieved by ISIS. And the US's first line of defense against IEDs, the MRAP, has been compromised. The Houthi leadership denied to CNN the existence of the Preventative Security Force. CNN has also reached out to Iran for comment, but received no response. Regardless, at the very least, these high-profile captures of American hardware make them safer and harder to fight. Our next stop is the mountain city of Taiz, where we're told an Al-Qaeda-linked militia is in possession of American weaponry. In these images obtained by CNN, you see the Abu al-Abbas militia, founded by an Al-Qaeda funder, Abu al-Abbas, currently on the US terror list, proudly patrolling the streets of Taiz in US MRAPs. If that wasn't unsettling enough, Taiz, we learn, is also awash with weaponry. Arms markets are illegal in Yemen, but that hasn't stopped them from operating. Using undercover cameras, we are able to film arms sellers hidden amid women's clothing shops. He doesn't today, but we're told we can put in a special order for an American assault rifle. Sellers like these are driving a black market for high-tech American weapons, sustaining the conflict. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. CNN was told by coalition sources that a deadlier US weapon system, the TOW missile, was airdropped in 2015 by Saudi Arabia to Yemeni fighters. An airdrop that was proudly proclaimed across Saudi-backed media channels. So where were they used, and by whom? We try to find out.
Here, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose the other guys. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do, yeah.
Okay. We've been told that we can't go ahead with the interviews that we had pre-planned. This local government is under the aegis of the coalition, and they are completely blocking any of our access or any of our ability to do any work.
The intimidation continued throughout that day and into the night. Ultimately, we're chased out of town, but we still want to find out what happened to the TOWs. So we asked the US Department of Defense whether they knew what happened to the US anti-tank missiles. They say that despite Saudi TV coverage, they weren't even aware of the claim that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia used TOW anti-tank missiles in Yemen in October 2015. After CNN presented its findings to the DoD, it says it has now launched an investigation. The Saudi-led coalition has not responded to calls for comment, but a senior UAE official denied to CNN that they were in violation of the arms sales agreement, saying the Giants Brigade are part of Yemeni forces that fight the Houthis on the ground and are under our direct supervision. The US DoD statement to CNN added they did not authorize any transfer of MRAPs or any military hardware from Saudi Arabia or the UAE to third parties. So far, we've focused on the weapons fueling the war here. But the seemingly endless conflict they sustain has also sparked a man-made catastrophe. Just a short distance from the front lines, the human toll comes into full view.
This is Bashir, and she is so malnourished that she can't actually walk. Her mother has to carry her everywhere. There are 200 cases of malnutrition like Bashir's just in this one village.
The local clinic had to shut down, so when word that the doctor is here gets around, parents come out into the street to meet her. Rula is 14 months old, but looks far smaller. After the doctor finishes her checkup, her father takes us deeper into the village to meet other families. This is Rahab. She's 2 years old, and she is so severely malnourished that her chest has begun to cave in. But incredibly, this is actually Rahab after she started getting better. The doctor said that they've been able to get her to keep some of the nutrition in, and they're actually hopeful now. That hope, though, depends on peace. And what we've seen here doesn't give much hope of a lasting one. how easy it is to get your hands on high-tech US weapons, how a swamp of uneasy alliances has led to sensitive US weaponry ending up in both Iranian and Al-Qaeda-linked hands, how America's allies are making Americans less safe. Wherever and with whomever the weapons end up, the war goes on. And ultimately, it's the people here who, as ever, bear the brunt.
US weapons manufacturer Navistar didn't respond to our request for comment. The Department of Defense, a defense official, however, has now acknowledged to CNN exclusively that there is an investigation into coalition violations. Wolf?
Nima, the President Trump says it's in the U.S. national interest to continue arms sales to Saudi Arabia and its coalition partners, but you found evidence to the contrary. Explain.
We found evidence that Iranian intelligence has had access to US MRAPs, and they have been specifically probing them for vulnerabilities. Now, given that most US soldier deaths in Afghanistan and Iraq are caused by improvised explosive devices, the military contacts that we have spoken to in the US are incredibly concerned by Iran having access to the building blocks to how America protects not just its soldiers, but its diplomats, its civilian contractors in difficult climates. It is incredibly, incredibly scary to them, they say, that
reporting, as she always does for us. Nima, thank you so much for that report. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room.